to jump to our next speaker. So Polina, are you there? Yeah.
I am, thank you.
Great. It's the mute. So good to have you here. And if you just share the screen with the presentation, I'll tell you when we see something. Mode. Yes, excellent. Perfect.
There I am.
Take it away, Polina.
Sorry about the little snag. Yeah, well, really exciting companies and really exciting technology. So I'm really happy to be here and to share with you what we do at Accessy. Accessy is a Swedish scale-up, I would say. A company has existed since 2019, but we are very few, 17 people based in southern Sweden, in Malmö. If we talk about deep tech, maybe we're not a deep tech, but we are rather a wide tech, and I will tell you why in my presentation. But before I talk more about Accessy, I would like to ask you, what was your first day at work like? If you can remember that, your first day in the office. I think for many people that work in small companies, it looks something like this. You receive a tag or a key that you add to your chain, yet another one. If you work in a big corporation, your first day looks like this. You receive this nice card that opens the doors for you. For me, my first day at Accessy looked like this. I got an SMS. While on the way to the office in Malmö, I got an SMS on the train. By the time I came out of the train and into the office, 5 minutes, I was able to download the app, create an account, receive my access, and then I just swiped to open the door. I was amazed by this experience, and that's why I like Accessy, and that's why I work for Accessy today. So what does Accessy do? Well, you might think it's an app that opens the door, and it sure does that, but it does much more than this. Accessy is an access management platform that can deliver access as part of your workflow. You can manage entire property portfolio in one place. This is a view from our portal, administrative portal. You can add other objects that you manage access to, like cabinets or charging stations. And you can integrate that with your other business applications, which means that you can create access on demand as part of your workflow. And I'll give some examples later in the presentation. We deliver it securely, directly into the mobile phone of your employees, suppliers, and customers. And we do that by using existing access control solutions. So you don't need to make a significant upfront investment of refurbishing, implementing new hardware, or upgrading your existing access control solution. As long as you have an access control that we can integrate through an API, you're good to go. So how does it work? Oh, sorry, benefits. The benefits for both property owners and major companies are, first of all, improved efficiency. Today, access control systems reside in a world of their own. They're disconnected from other IT systems, business systems, and IT solutions. So very often you need to duplicate the effort. You add employees in an HR system or an Active Directory, and then you have to create them manually in an access control system and give them cards and tags. That process is streamlined with Accessy, and it's just one flow. We reduce cost, obviously, both from the process efficiency, but also managing all that hardware. We reuse what you already have. And in the Swedish market, if you're, let's say, a company and you move offices, every time you need to install new hardware, the old one gets discarded. You need to run new cable and you need to put new readers and you need to buy a new software. By reusing what's already on the door, Accessy also minimizes the environmental footprint and saves cost. We improve the user experience for your employees and suppliers and your visitors. There's no need to ring a doorbell or to have a big clunky keychain with tags. You have all the accesses that you need. You have it in your phone, and they're always with you, stored safely. We also reduce the environmental impact in the buildings in another way. A lot of mileage today around services buildings is driven just to acquire a key. Service suppliers and service technicians will need to drive to a central office location somewhere in town, collect the key, then drive to the site, perform the work, then drive back, leave that key, etc., etc. So there is a huge emissions impact of key management that is today a hidden and very easy to eliminate with Accessy. And then we facilitate new digital services. There is a lot of services today that are easily accessible on the app that at some point require an access to a building. Deliveries is one, but there are many other. For example, for this meeting today, I book a conference room downtown Stockholm. I use an app that's called FlowPass that helps me choose what are the nearest available conference rooms. I booked it online and I got the key through Accessy in collaboration with FlowPass, and I was able to enter the room. This is just one example of the digital services that Accessy makes possible. So how does it work? First of all, we centralize, as I said, access management to your entire property portfolio. And it could be owned portfolio or it could be rented portfolio. As a company, you probably rent properties in many buildings. You don't own them. You might have an access control of your own, or you might be using the access control of the property owner. Typically, it's a combination of both, where in a commercial office setting, there is a access control system on the perimeter that is owned by the property owner. And then as an individual company, you have access control on your individual doors. With Accessy, we can connect all those locations, all your locations around Sweden or any place in the world. And regardless of what access control solution you have in use. And we can also show you the doors that are owned by the property owner, but shared with you. Typically common doors like entry doors, garages, cycling garages, etc., etc. They will all be visible for you in one and the same interface. And now you centralize it, and in the next step, you can automate it. All the accesses are available to your employees, your service personnel in a mobile phone. And you can see them as subscriptions, and you can see them in a map, and you can see them room by room, whatever you prefer. As I said, once you centralize, you can also automate. Your organization is complex. You have different teams. They work in different offices. They need access to different sites. Today, this is a highly manual process that takes a lot of time and effort. By integrating your business systems with Accessy, you can drive that access programmatically, meaning that your HR system can store data of the same way AD stores data for your application. Your system can store data for your sites, and we can make sure that the access is delivered to the right people and to the right sites. The same is also true for your suppliers. You have myriads of suppliers. They need to access at some point to your sites. That is also something that can be driven programmatically from a workflow or work order system, or from a business system, a different business system. Again, everybody receives their access in a mobile phone, and it happens within seconds once you get the access, and it can last for years or it can last for minutes, and it's totally dependent on your business needs. And then I said that access can be integrated as a part of your workflow. And here is an example that we have customers today. Typically booking, you book things online. You can book a conference room, as I did earlier today, or you can book a visit to the dentist, or you can book a meeting with a consultant. Once you book online, with the help of Accessy, we can provide the access that booking that is needed for this booking. Your customer receives an SMS with a one-time link and can swipe to open. And it can be one door or it can be many doors, depends on the customer's journey to your office. And once you come into the office and you sign in reception, you might receive a different access for the next door as well. Again, all delivered as part of your preferred workflow. This can be done with the Accessy app, or this can be done with multiple number of apps. It could be your own app or the app of your product. Accessy makes it very easy to manage. This is the view of our portal, but I typically don't spend a lot of time on it because I say that everything in our portal can be done through an API, through a standard API. So we would rather see that you integrate to our platform and not do things manually in it. But anyway, the logic of the system is that we read all the doors from your access control into our platform. And we allow you to group them in different ways. And the system is very abstract and very flexible. And then you invite your personnel, your consultants, and your employees to the different groups that you've already created. As I said, Accessy is very easy to get started. What you require is an internet connection and a phone and an Accessy tag that is programmed to identify the door. And we are already installed in many properties in Sweden. We are currently starting our operations from Sweden, and we are well established in Sweden, and we are looking to expand into the further into the Nordics. If you're in any of those property owners, you should be very easy to get started on Accessy. Thank you very much for your time.
Great, thank you, Polina. I have a whole range of questions for you, so you can't go home yet. So we have a question: what are your plans to partner with furnishing suppliers? What solutions are available to higher security technical production areas?
So furnishing, I am thinking maybe it's a question about cabinets, or not sure. We already work with a couple of cabinet locking solutions, and we integrate with them. So we are very open to creating an integration. As I said, we integrate through API. And so if your solution allows an API integration, it can be integrated into our portal and managed through the platform. Okay.
What about solutions available to higher security technical production areas?
It will depend on the security requirements, I would say, and I would need to get deeper into that. Our solution was not developed for the high security applications. However, the system, the app and our service creates a unique, every time you open a door, you sign a transaction, and it's unique, and we store that. You can, for certain doors, you can also ask the user to identify with Face ID or with a PIN code as an additional security.
Okay.
We can also monitor presence at the door, etc.
Here's more. And do you have any plans to partner with ID06?
We haven't had that request from our customers, but it's an interesting avenue. And if there's interest, I'm willing to explore it.
Okay. I have yet one more question for you. What safety measures are provided by the product? For example, if someone tries to hack it?
Yeah, that's a much bigger question. And I'm sorry we don't have time for that, to explain that in a meeting like this, but I would be absolutely willing to take a further discussion outside of this call and talk about all the different ways we secure the platform. We have spent a lot of time on the security framework, and that's why we are one of the few solutions in Sweden that are certified with SSF 1075, which is a Swedish security certification for digital delivery and distribution of digital keys.
Okay, great. Yeah, as I said earlier, all the participants, you will get the contact details for all the speakers afterwards, so you can contact Polina and have hours and hours of security discussions. There's one more question here. Where in Malmö are you located? It's it's very
Södra Förstadsgatan 2.
okay. Thank you so much, Polina. Really good to have you here. I hope to see you soon
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you.